We're live for now.
Welcome, dear friends, to this monk chat this evening. And as you can see, we have 3 bhikkhunis here. We're really very honoured, friends, to have with us Aya Sudarshana, who ordained as a bhikkhuni in 1996, one of the first bhikkhunis in the bhikkhuni revival. She ordained in Sarnath in India, and she's here with us in order to be the preceptor for our dear seminary Satima, who's sitting just over here, and whose ordination is tomorrow, along with Samanera Wada. So this is a very auspicious time for us, for the Sangha, the monastic Sangha. It's a big gathering, and we're so honoured and privileged to have Aya Sudarshana with us. She's literally just arrived. Also, our dear friend, who many of you know, Aya Suwijana, who's also been travelling from afar and who's here for the ordination. So they very generously agreed to be on the monk chat with us. And so, as usual, friends, you're welcome to post any questions. Also those in the room, if you have any questions. And let's see what happens. Sometimes there may be no questions, in which case we'll finish very quickly. But we'll wait for a little while to see what questions may come in. Big welcome to Suzanne, to Julie, to Yongchu, Olga, and Ian. Thank you for being with us. We have a rather, how can I say, momentous, significant ordination happening tomorrow. We have a young man who's only 20 years old, who you all know, many of you know, Samanera Wada, who's going forth, and at the same time, Samaneri Satima is going forth. So this is a bhikkhu and bhikkhuni ordination. And it feels very lovely for Empty Cloud to be able to host this auspicious event. It's a little bit unusual in that we have an ordination of both genders. And this makes a lot of us very happy. It feels very good to have this opportunity to come together in this way. So we have a number of bhikkhus and a number of bhikkhunis. I think the total 20 of monastics? 20, even maybe, more? Is it? I think even a few more. A beautiful gathering for us.
So it's a Mahasangha. Mahasangha, and so this is just the blossoming of the dual Sangha. It just seems so wonderful and auspicious, as you're saying. And then it's just showing the mutual supportiveness of both the bhikkhu and the bhikkhuni Sangha for one another.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it was a question about whether the ordination was being videotaped.
Okay.
And that one we can answer quickly. Is there any knowledge of the videotaping? No.
I don't think so.
So that's the answer to that one.
Yeah.
And then there is a question, an actual question. It says, Ayas, what is your favorite aspect of living in the life of renunciation? Would you care to answer that one first?
Favorite aspect of living the life of renunciation. Renunciation is very hard. Most of people can do it. Even though can't go to the temple few hours, renunciate from their housework. How can renunciate from all the life to the monastic life, right? Very, very, very difficult making decision. And all the monastic we have to very, very appreciate. They give up lay life and become a monastic life. its very, very favorite thing is release from all the bonds, all the attachments, right? Uh, when we become monastic, we don't favorite my brother, my sister, my brother. This all universe is people, our parents, our sisters and brothers. We care like that. We detach from our family, our present thing and many things. It release like birds in the sky. Only they have two wings, like the monastic life. We can get our robe and ball, we can go anywhere. And very release, no any attachment. This is the favorite thing. We have more time for the inner cultivation and meditation. We have more time. When we are in a lay life, it's very less time for the own cultivation, own inner purification. Then monastic life is very freedom from that, and we have more time for the inner purification and more meditation and release from all the attachment.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So, should we each answer that? I guess take in turn. So, I could say more briefly, I do appreciate everything Ayasa has said. I agree, and also, well, especially the freedom to have more time for cultivation. But what it is the life becomes the opportunity for cultivation. I wake up and I put on this robe and I know I'm a samana. And I have given up, like I don't have to think about what to wear in the morning. I just have,
No hairstyle, no different color clothing.
Yeah, right. So
just same robe.
I don't. I've given up all the beautification and all the things that go along with the concern about how much every hair in place or something like that. But mostly it's that my life is dedicated to Dhamma now, and I've given up the household values, and so just briefly I'll say that because there's more questions coming in.
Yeah, thank you. I can really only echo both of you, Venerables. I feel like the freedom, the space of monastic life, we have so much more time, we have so much less responsibilities in a way, and complexity, and so the simplicity is such a joy, such a gift, and also not having to choose what to wear. I love that. I just love that. No thought about that. It's just the same clothes every day. I mean, we have laundry and we do clean clothes, but essentially it's the same clothes every day, and that is so lovely and easeful. So thank you for that question, Julie.
So we should roll down because I think some.
Okay, let's
can
go
we scroll
back.
down?
Yeah.
There's some.
So next we'll go in order, shall we, Aya? Just go one at a time. So Ian says, how can I deal with other people's judgments when taking on practices that are not so common for non-Buddhists?
Are you maybe talking about like 8 precepts and things like that, perhaps?
Yeah.
How can I deal with other people's judgment? You don't have to worry about the other people's judgment. Worry about yourself, right?
Thank you, Aya.
That's a good short answer to that.
Then people can do many ideas, no?
Yeah. It can be, sometimes a bit challenging to say. What immediately comes to my mind is around alcohol, for instance, that Buddhists, if we're keeping precepts, we're not going to be drinking alcohol. And I personally found that when I started practicing and keeping the precepts, which took me a while, I have to say, but when I finally managed to firm up that 5th precept, I did have some explaining to do, and there's some culture clash sometimes for some of us. And, I would say just to, in a way, take strength from Sangha. So the other people who are practicing, and, we can talk about these issues with one another and support each other. I just remember I used to teach kids quite a lot. We had a family camp at Amravati in the UK. And these kids would come, and they were really, it was very spacious for them coming to the monastery. We weren't trying to impose anything on them, but gradually many of them became very firmly well-practiced Buddhists, and they were keeping the precepts. And these teenagers, these kids, were dealing with these issues around habits and lifestyle, many unwholesome things that teenagers can do. And they were just not involving in those things. And they learned through talking to one another how to feel that and how to be comfortable, as somebody who's not drinking, somebody who's honest, somebody who's living in a very wholesome way. And so I wish you well with it, but I feel Ayurveda is the thing that you said is what's most important. Don't worry too much about it. Keep practicing. Yeah.
So I just like to kind of reinforce what has been said, that it's from inside, just that foundation inside gives great, bringing strength to that, and not worrying about what other people say. And then also peer support, but that also just how to be kind with, like not, for instance, if you're not drinking and other people are, not having an air of superiority or making yourself, really alien to other people, because there's a way we can alienate ourselves. So just rejoice in what's in common. And just also, but make the distinction, that I've made this choice. I've chosen not to do that.
Yeah.
Samadhi.
Eight world condition is always there, right? Praise, blame, and thing. We have to practice the balanced life.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Thank you for that question, Ian. And thank you, Venerables. Now we have a question from Kim Gordon. Thank you, Kim. Says, greetings, Ayers. Would you mind talking about karma and catastrophic events? Like when thousands of people get killed in a war zone or tsunami?
Karma is good and bad, not only the good. Karma means both. Karma means action. We are in the human world, we still making good karma, also bad karma in the samsaric journey. This is not our first life, this is not our last life. Then we make our own karma. We cannot blame to others. We cannot blame to others because it happened to be because of them. It's our own karma. We carry in good and bad, own karma, samsaric journey. Even the Buddha had faced to bad karma in the Buddha's last life. The Buddha's the Buddha's last life, he has to face some bad action. Then the most venerable Mugalantheru had faced bad karma. Karma means whatever we create, we have to face it, good or bad.
Yeah, that's such a big question. And the Buddha also said that if, unless you're an arahant, to understand kamma, is so complex, your head would explode if you try to understand it. And my understanding too is there's multiple conditions that play into kamma and events in the world. Kamma is only one of the forces in that we face in samsara, and there's a weather and many other conditions that we face as human beings, illness. So yeah, to understand that this is samsara, and that greed, hate, and delusion are still very active, and this is just the unfortunate. I mean, there's probably still people that are. I wouldn't judge just because somebody died in a war zone that was their so-called bad kamma. It's just any living being is subject to sickness, age, death, accidents, all these kind of things, and there is direct consequences of kamma which we can contemplate, and there is just circumstance. So I think there's that as well. I don't think it's all just kind of, if you were in a war zone and you died, it's because you had that was bad kamma. It's just that maybe that lifetime was just meant to be a short life.
Yeah. There are 4 karma, one of the thing, janaka, upattambaka, upapilaka, upagataka. Janaka means you can born as a very good, powerful karma. Janaka, born with that, born as a human being. Upattambaka means the supportive. That's born as a human being, then supportive. Many ways, parent support and many other. Sometimes people born like a very poor situation. It's not the supportive. When you're born as a human being, then there's supportive karma, upattambaka. Third one is upapilaka. When we're born as a human being, good karma, a powerful karma, also supportive, upattambaka. Upapidaka means sometimes your life, maybe some physical sickness coming, giving some disturbance to your life, or some accident, something maybe war and tsunami. Upapidaka means destroying your life. Upapidaka means suffering, giving you suffering. Upagataka means completely destroy your life, completely destroy your good karma. It suddenly happened like a tsunami. Like that, there are 4 ways is karma: janaka, upattambaka, upapidaka, upagataka. There are 4 ways. Yeah. Also, not only things happen in the karma, right? Bijaniyama, utuniyama, dhammaniyama, chittaniyama. There are many ways. Natural ways. Utuniyama means like a seed. When you plant the okra seed, it comes okra, utuniyama. Bijaniyama. Utuniyama means like a season, right? Like a winter, summer, weather.
Climate.
Utuniyama, bijaniyama.
Even this tsunami and storms and things, they also belong to that one.
Yeah.
Tsunamis and storms,
Utuniyama.
these kind of things.
Bijaniyama. Dhammaniyama means everything is arising and passed away. Dhammaniyama. Chittaniyama means about the phenomena of the mind, right? Kammaniyama means the karma, action.
Yes.
There are panchaniyama, dhamma, 5 niyamas.
That's a lot. That is so wonderful. The causes of things, and much there to consider, and more to maybe read up. Thank you so much, Agnes. Yeah.
So what
I
Arshin,
think is
Ari,
now that
Arshin
God is
Darshana
doing
was saying.
something,
Oh,
Huh?
okay. Go
other
ahead.
than kamma.
Mm.
Now in Buddhism, we think, even in Hinduism, I think they think of kamma as
Bad way.
as something that happens to us. Kamma from what we did earlier.
Mm.
It's our own kamma. But in some religions, it is God given. Yeah.
Yes.
There is
Yes.
a difference.
Yes, yes. So the Venerable is saying that karma not mysterious. It's due to cause and effect,
Cause and effect.
action and the results of action. Unlike theistic religions, where the people will say, "Well, it's God's will." So this is a significant feature of Buddhism, that it has this practical, logical, realistic approach to why things happen. Mm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we can't say it's anyone's fault that they died in the war.
Very
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
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 When Buddha was alive, then he can see what's cause of effect. No?
Right.
Yeah, we can say it's a bad karma is happened. We cannot say like that.
Yeah, it's too complicated for us to understand the workings of karma. There's no real purpose in us trying. Just accept and be compassionate for people who are having difficult times, and accepting that we can't know why these things happen, but we can certainly have a heart of compassion.
Yeah,
And,
thank you.
for
Yes.
both ourselves and others, experiencing difficulties for whatever reason. Thank you so much, Kim, for that question. It's a wonderful discussion. And now we have a question from Olga. Thank you, Olga. Could you please describe your typical day in your monastic life? How much do you get to meditate? Thank you, Olga, for that question. Aya Sudarshana, would you like to comment?
Yeah, then in Sri Lanka, in my temple, we had to wake up 3:30 in the morning. Then we had to arrange the puja and go to the shrine room and do meditation and chanting. We do chanting first, then do meditation, and we talk all about what's the day going on. The little nuns, they had to go to the Piruvena and do some chores and things. And after lunch, also in Sri Lanka typically, and breakfast and lunch bring in the people to the monastic. Then when they bring the lunch and breakfast, when we have to arrange the puja and do the puja and giving meals to the devotees. And after that after lunch we do the meditation, short chanting and meditation, maybe 45 minutes. And in the evening also we have to arrange the puja, also some kind of Bodhi puja also we do. And after that chanting, meditation, we do until 6:30 to 9 o'clock in Sri Lanka. Yeah, we have more time for practice. In Sri Lanka is what's called the bhavana centers, meditation places.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, they have
We
more
go for
time.
retreats.
Yeah,
Mm.
retreat. Good.
Mm.
That means a long time, maybe 5 days, maybe 10 days.
Yeah.
5 or
Maybe a
10
month.
day retreats,
Sometimes
maybe even a
1
month.
month.
Place,
Yeah.
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 Then it's a full-time meditation.
Full-time meditation is
All the
possible.
time being mindful and
Yeah, on retreats. Retreats for the monastics, Aya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
monastic.
Yes, the monastics have retreats.
Yeah.
That's really great.
Mhm.
Yeah. So lots of time for meditation, would
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very good.
That's
Pardon?
wonderful.
You?
Well,
want to say?
I'm with one other bhikkhuni in a vihara. We're just starting, and we're just establishing vihara dedicated to bhavana. And since both of us have been practicing for quite some time, we decided that we would not require that we would get up at a particular time for puja or anything like that, that we would be able to. So it depends on how early I wake up and how alert I am in the morning. And if I'm waking up at 3 and I'm like I have enough energy, I'll start meditating then. So for me it varies. I often get like at least 1 to 2 hours in the morning. I think that's what they're specifically asking. We have our puja after breakfast and a morning meeting just to go over the day. And since we're just starting out, there's kind of a lot of business that we're, to get established. We've had a lot of business. But often in the afternoon, we have time for study.
For
And
the
some Dhamma study
study.
and research. And if I'm giving a talk, sometimes I'll be spending the time just researching the idea, what I'm going to speak about, so that I can present something well. And then in the evening we have to ourselves too for meditation. We decided not to have a schedule because like if you're sitting and an hour passes and the bell rings and you've gotten really deep and you have to get up or something like that. It says, so we're trying to avoid that. So we're trying to have that flexibility, because the mind sometimes can settle and go deeply quickly. And then just to have it scheduled, like at this point we're still wanting to have that time that's unscheduled for meditation. That we're trusting one another. It's not like when we have juniors that we would want to support them in their practice by having a regular meditation schedule. So it's unscheduled at this point. And we also during the Vasa gave each one of us took 3 weeks for secluded time. So at that time, I'm not sure how many hours I was meditating, between walking meditation and sitting meditation. Much of the day I was doing that.
Very good.
So
Thank you. I myself, I'm not living in a monastery at the moment. I'm caring for my elderly father and also living with my mother, who's also very elderly. And so what I notice is, the mornings are good because my parents get up later, so I have time to meditate in the mornings. That's a very precious time. And then I'm with them, and that I'm trying to practice mindfulness in all that I'm doing, and also renunciation, because living with them in their household, to try not to be too picky and choosy, and to just take what's offered and to live a very simple life,
You live
in the UK.
UK?
In the UK. And then also in the evenings I have quiet time too. So I'm very happy. It's almost, for me, it's very monastic. I have a little kuti as well in the garden. So I feel it's a really peaceful situation, and I have a lot of time for meditation.
Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
so that's
Next.
not a question. It's just
Thank you for your greetings,
Jan says
everyone.
greetings.
We have a question here from Yong Chu. Thank you, Yong. I understand that other religions had law of karma when Buddha was giving Dharma talks. Is Buddha's view different? If so, what are they? I wonder if we've sort of covered this.
No, this is
okay.
a difference. There were believed in kamma or
Yeah.
karma.
Karma.
Do you want to address that one first? Because the Jains and or the Diganthas had different views on karma.
Like Jaina, they explain about the karma, like when they, that's why they, when they walking, they clean the path, because they say we don't know, we can step on the very very tiny insect and we can kill them and create the bad karma, something like that, like extreme, right? Extreme karma, they, something like that, right?
I can speak a little bit to it because I just understand from what the discussions in the suttas. At the time of the Buddha, there was people that believed there was, like the Jains particularly, a fixed kamma, and like you were saying, just it wasn't even like an intention. You weren't, if you unintentionally killed something, it was still bad kamma.
Karma. Also, they believe if you give torture to your body, you can release the bad karma, something like that. That's why
Yes.
they giving torture to the body, right?
Yes. Yes.
So they thought they were purifying their kamma by harming themselves. So
Yes.
standing on one leg and causing a lot of pain from
Yeah.
just holding one position for a long
Not
time.
wearing the clothes, right?
Yes.
Cold and hot weather, they explode the body to the torture into the body. Also, they make a little thing and take off all the hair, pulling all the hairs, giving torture to the body, and trying to destroy the karma, something like that.
Because they believed it was fixed and that was the only way to burn
Get
it
rid,
off.
yeah.
And
Get rid of.
there's a sutta in particular in the Samyutta Nikaya, where this one who is a devotee of the Naganthas, and he believed that if you lied or killed or had broke any of the precepts, then you were destined to hell no matter what, unless you're burning off the kamma this way. And the Buddha responded that one can renounce the former activities and say, I'm not going to do that again. And that was actually a purification. If you saw the harm in it and you stopped doing the bad actions, then that actually, and then also developing the Brahma Viharas. It was in the one sutta, first you purify your action, through body and speech, and then you purify the mind. And then you transcend the kamma that way.
Yeah.
So that's in the Buddhist teaching, and that's in belief systems. That's one of the differentiations. And then there's a number of religions that believed in some fixed course of kamma, and you just over time you're living it out. Just and then you don't have any choice in the matter. You don't have any discernment in the matter. You don't so you're just kind of it's just like a movie or something that would go from one scene to the next scene, and the next scene would be the next life and the next life and the next life. Something like that. And I think the Ajivikas would believe something like that. You just lived over how many eons, you just lived it out. And there wasn't any really development, which was where the Buddha's teaching differs, is that we have a choice. We can abandon unwholesome behaviors. We can purify our minds.
Yeah.
So that's
Then the Jaina, they say you have to give torture to your body, then get rid of the karma.
That way.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, Venerables. Great. And we get it.
so there's
I don't know how to do this. Oh, that.
you're
Okay.
trying to learn how to see
Now
how
I'm
to
getting there.
scroll. Okay, there.
We have
Is
a lot
that
of questions, Venerables, so we'll see if we can maybe take turns and give.
Okay, so no, just
slightly
one of
shorter.
us, one of
Yeah.
us, one of us speak at a
So
time.
we can try and cover all the questions. We'll do our best. Joram asks, I'm sorry I still delayed, hence my bad news. It's just its own owner. Thanks. Good reception. I'm not sure what this really means.
So
Can't-
somebody's trying to convey a message and we don't understand what it is.
I don't think it's a question, friends. So, Jaram, I hope your message can be conveyed maybe in another way if you can. If you can do that, that would be great. And, oh wait, there's more. Just see. Yeah, again, it's not a question. Okay, John asks, I would like to do a review of my life and progress in the Dharma. How should I review the good progress I've made in virtue and cultivation? Have you done something like this? So, reviewing our practice, our lives, as part of the practice. Yeah.
We have to review, right? Review what we speak, what we think, what we action all the time. So it means mindfulness, sati. We have to be sati. And if you think I did something wrong, then don't do it. Move forward, right?
Sadhu. Thank you, Aya. Okay, next, Nicola. We're glowing. Thank you, that's grand. We look like our inner core is very still. Have you seen yourself, here is a question, have you seen yourself evolve over time in this path? Do you like to?
Yes, there is that thing of reviewing and looking back and thinking about how much we've made progress in our lives. Like if you look 5 years or 10 years or something, if you've been practicing over that period of time. I think about like how angry I used to get over little things, and I'm realizing that with the practice of mindfulness and compassion and all the Brahma Viharas, I've really decreased the amount I get angry now, and I catch it when it's coming up. You know, I don't let it fester. I don't. So I'm not claiming to be free of unwholesome mental states, but I do see an increase in wholesome states as well. So we can look in terms of that. Inner core. There's no really inner core. I think it's more in terms of just our response to the world and how peaceful our mind is.
Thank you so much, Ryan. That's beautiful. And now, no worries, Julie. We have a. Yep, that doesn't. That's again. Lots of. Just looking for the next question, friends. Okay, here's a question from Richard. On the 3 Anusatis of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, would you say that the recollection of the Dharma is the most important of the 3? Ayya Khema said that, but why the Buddha? But why the Buddha comes first then? So I think the question is there a sort of gradation in the 3 refuges? Is one more important than another? Sudarshana.
What is the
The question is, would you say that to simplify, would you say that the recollection of the Dharma is the most important of the three, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha?
No, the recollections of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha is very important, right? The means faith, saddha. Without saddha, we cannot think about the Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha. We have to develop the unshakable faith, saddha, confidence. Not only the Dhamma, also Buddha, because we are following the Buddha's teaching. Buddha's teaching is the Dhamma. Right? The three is very important.
All three.
Yeah.
All three. Yeah. Anything?
They're inseparable. You can't separate them.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're reflecting on one, you're reflecting on the other.
Yeah.
Without the Buddha, there isn't the
No
Sangha.
Dhamma, no Sangha.
Sadhu.
Yeah. Sangha means who is following the Buddha's teaching. Is Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Is three are very jewel.
Without the example of the Sangha, we may not know of the Buddha.
Yeah.
So you can't omit any of them, or yeah.
Like the legs of a tripod. Okay, we have another question from Julie. Thank you, Julie, who asks, do you get to live in kutis at times? Go on alms round. Thank you.
Kutis.
Do you get to live in a, like little huts, solitary, and go on alms round also?
When you go arms around?
Do you do alms round as a regular practice?
Yeah, not in America.
Not in America.
In Sri Lanka we do go arms around. Yeah.
Yeah. Every day, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
And do the monastics live in solitary spaces or more in like, how do you say, like big buildings together?
Yeah, buildings together, yeah. I like prefer to, we have one kuti in Sri Lanka. Whoever want to come practice, they use for the kuti. Yeah, we all nuns live in the same building.
Yeah. I'm curious actually, do you have single rooms or do you share rooms?
Single room.
Single rooms. Yeah.
When it's big function, it's big when it's big ceremony, then we have to share the.
Yes. Like now.
Yeah.
Ayusudarshan, do you want to make
Oh, yes. We had, and when
yes
I was
and yes.
when I was in California on the Sonoma coast, we have kutis built. So we had individual kutis, and then before COVID, we were going like 4 days a week out for alms, and then it took a while to establish that people knew what we were doing. And then even people that were not Buddhists got really excited and wanted to participate. And often we get way more food than.
Yeah.
And we go once, I'm now in Washington State, in Olympia, Washington with Aya Nyanika, and we go once a week into Olympia for alms. But now it's like we have an invitation because there's one family who has a food truck is offering us alms every time. So it's like, it's almost guaranteed that we'll have a meal. There was only once I went out and I didn't receive any food.
I remember first time I had the Bhikkhunis Sudamma at the South Carolina of her first Vasa. I went with her and stayed with her. We went arms around, I don't know which city, I can't remember. We carrying the ball, nobody offering anything for us. 2003.
And
finally we stand somewhere some of the one, I can't remember, nobody offering anything, and one of the people came and talked to us, and she explained, and only that one. First time in America also.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to be persistent because, but the
Yeah, that's
people,
over here. They don't know what's
Right.
going on, what is the reason and
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
yeah. But we had people from Buddhist countries know what we're doing right
Yeah.
away, so
Yeah.
they get very excited
Mm.
because they don't see monks usually. So yeah, so it is happening in this country gradually, and there are kutis being built for bhikkhunis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm thinking of what comes to my mind is Empty Cloud Italia, because we have the local town about an hour's walk away, Acqua Viva della Fonte. And it's really interesting how when we go on the alms round there, people are very generous, first of all, very generous, very
Is
kind.
Italian?
Italian people,
Oh,
yeah, local
very
people.
good.
And they also seem to know that we're alms mendicants, and I think that's very interesting. So in Italy, also in other parts of Europe, I've experienced people seem to have some sort of memory of alms mendicancy. There's some sort of sense. Historically, the Franciscans were alms mendicants, and Italy being a Catholic country, people seem to know, and I find that very amazing. In Britain, it's not quite like that. In Spain, it's not quite like that, actually. In France, it's not like that. People often try and give money, and then we have to have a conversation. And it's very beautiful how often people will, when they've tried to offer money and we've actually, in a way, rejected their offering, very very gratefully, but nevertheless we're not accepting that offering, how often people will go and then get some food for us, go and actually go the extra mile and go and buy food. And that's very beautiful. So people are kind everywhere, I feel, but sometimes, as you say, they don't quite know what this is about, and we can help them, to have the chance to be generous.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying too. That it takes time. So
Just
just what you were saying. That's what we experienced here in the U.S. So, yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful. We have a question from Richard. Thank you, Richard. About the topic of karma. Coming back to this topic, what are our thoughts about if Mahamoggallana was killed because he killed his parents in a past life? The early suttas don't say that. It seems a commentary. Yeah, I think that's commentarial, isn't it? But this explanation of what happened to him.
Yeah, the Mugalang Thera. Because he is a great Arahant, he is not reborn again. This is the last life. Then his bad karma is result. Also Buddha, great Buddha, also having some back pain and headache because of the previous lifetime. I think that headache is happen when he was previous life. Then the children is playing like fishing. Then when fish come to the ground, then fish is jumping like no water. Then other kids, they laughing. Then one of the life, then he was laughing like that fish is trying to survive. They say that's the reason is having some kind of headache.
Never heard that before.
Yeah.
No.
Something they have some effect. The Buddha's life also.
Yeah. So these accounts, these possibilities, really they're just possibilities,
Yeah.
I suppose, aren't they? But people wanting to give some background, some explanation. I think with the commentaries we can read them with interest and hold
Yeah.
them quite lightly. But actually that's maybe true for the scriptures as well. To read them with a discerning mind and to see what's valuable and useful for ourselves and what really speaks to us as something that we can use for our development
Yeah.
on the spiritual path.
And
Yeah,
also
who
we
knows?
can also think, in this lifetime we can consider, oh, if I'm harming a living being in this lifetime, how do I know that I won't be reaping the consequences in a future lifetime? So I should be really careful.
Careful and prevent the doing unwholesome thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So whether or not,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
whether don't think about the bad karma or samsaric journey, or think about this moment,
Mhm.
and whatever you don't like, then don't do it, right?
Absolutely.
you don't do to others which,
Others, yeah.
what you wouldn't want to happen to yourself later
Yes, yes.
If you do any bad thing, is regret yourself first, right? You can do bad things, not showing to the other people, but in your mind is repeating to yourself, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. You can have any peaceful in your mind. That's very,
Absolutely.
very important, right? Then
Mm.
prevent doing unwholesome thing.
so you
Cultivate
don't
good.
have regret.
Yeah.
No regret.
Absolutely. We know this much. I mean, the Buddha said we can't possibly understand the workings of karma, why things happen, but we do know simple truths that the Buddha also told us about karma. If you kill, there will be a very bad result for you. If you steal, there will be a very bad result. And so we know this much.
Yeah.
We apply. Thank you for that, Richard.
That was a
And
sadhu, and is that
greetings from Jeanette from Singapore. Nice that you're with us, Jeanette. Here we have a question from Joseph, who says, can you speak more about how you cultivate joyful compassion, free from cruelty and grief? I've read suffering is a vital condition for faith, and faith is a vital condition for joy. Can you speak more on this?
The
So
condition
just
of-
to recap, Joseph's saying, how do we cultivate joyful compassion free from cruelty and grief? And there's a sequence that he's heard of, that suffering leads to faith and faith leads to joy. So,
I could say something.
thank you.
Yeah, there's in the suttas, there's a Upanishad, the approximate cause, I think it is, and it's in the Samyutta Nikaya. And there is that sequence where it goes through the chain of dependent origination, and then when you get to suffering, then the faith arises. And that's because my understanding of this is that you start to get an understanding of the teaching. The Buddha talks about the cause of suffering, and that there is the possibility for the cessation of suffering, and the Noble Eightfold Path is the way to the cessation of suffering. So then there's hope. So then their joy springs up. You're happy. And then there's this whole chain of, like from pamoja, sada to pamoja to, I think it's pasadi, and then up to samadhi. And then eventually I don't know the whole chain, but then it does lead up to knowledge and vision and final knowledge and liberation. So there's that. So then the essential thing is that you're getting an understanding of the teaching. So then that's the sada and the joy, because there's a hope, there's a way out.
Yeah.
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 The it's very important is confidence. We call confidence, saddha, faith, and there are two-way confidence: amulika saddha, akaravati saddha. Like with foundation and without foundation. Like maybe somebody seeing is like a monastic, bhikkhunis, nuns. Oh, this is such a good way. Oh, I want to become like that nun, bhikkhuni, and she's very faithful about it. If they see something very little mistake, she blame around, turn around and blaming you. That's not with good foundation with saddha. Also, some people they say, "Oh, I want to practice Buddhism." Then they go to practice Buddhism. Then is something see is not going the way they want. I don't like Buddhism. Then walk away. That's not the good faith or confidence. It's there are two confidence.
Yeah. That's good to know. I'm learning a lot. This
So the
evening.
sada that's based on confidence is because you're starting to understand the Buddhist teaching, and that's your foundation, rather than something that's that can change, like other people's behaviors or something like that.
Yeah. If you know really about the Buddha's teaching, about the 9 qualities of the Buddha, really understand, it's not going to shake it.
I think that really answers, in a way, how you cultivate joyful compassion. But maybe we can come to Venerables. May I bring up the first part again of Joseph's question, just to see if there's anything else. Can we speak more about how one cultivates joyful compassion, free from cruelty and grief?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's two different kind of two different.
Cultivate the joyful compassion, free from cruelty. How can you cultivate joyful compassion with cruelty? Never happen. Right?
Yes.
You have to be your compassion and joyful life without cruelty, without harming others, without blaming others. If you have some greedy and anger and delusion with your mind, you don't have joyful life. Also, whatever you have to satisfy. Not, oh, I have this one, I don't have other one. She has a nice new car, I don't have a new car. How can you be joyful? No? Equanimity and sympathetic joy. Right? If you have developed your mind, if you can see the others had better than you, you have to be very happy, very joyful mind. If you have anger or you have some resentful, oh, she could like that, but I don't have. You don't have joyful, right? Like a sympathetic joy. If you develop sympathetic joy, you have joyful.
How do we cultivate compassion?
Through the meditation.
Through meditation.
Yeah. Through the meditation, you can understand the metta, karuna, mudita, upeksha for sublime state. Sublime. Yeah.
Yes.
You can develop that sublime state in your mind through the meditation.
Meditation practice.
Yeah. So it's getting to the 8:30. I don't know.
We actually finish at 9 o'clock.
Oh, I
if
thought
we
we-
have, questions.
Okay.
So shall we continue?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
okay.
it's a long day tomorrow, so I'm concerned about. Maybe we should focus on people that haven't already asked questions.
Okay, yeah, great. So
Looks
let's
Italian.
look through.
Is that Italian? Yeah.
Oh,
And
we can't speak Spanish or Italian. Okay.
it's Italian. It looks like.
Okay,
maybe.
we have another question from Joseph.
What? Well, said look
on
for
the same
look
topic.
look
Oh,
for
no?
people
Okay.
who haven't asked questions
Sorry,
yet.
Joseph.
I think we should do that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is a beautiful question. This is from Elisa. We've not heard from Elisa yet.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you, Elisa, who says, where would you recommend starting for someone new to the practice?
Where?
Or how, maybe?
Yeah. So I think
What kind of practice you want? Buddhist practice, and maybe find the nearest your monastic. Get advice and start to practice it and read the book and Dhamma.
Study.
Get some,
And maybe go somewhere where one can learn to meditate,
Meditate,
or get some guidance around that.
guided meditation. Not in 1 hour, just start with 5 minutes in the beginning, or maybe 2 minutes, concentrate your mind, then get into 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. Start at the beginning, very short time.
Yeah, and
And
gradually
advance,
increase.
to find people that are already doing the Buddhist practice, particularly, and then there's a lot available online too. But to have living examples of people already doing the practice and practicing together. Yeah, so just what you were saying.
Yeah, I would echo it too. Just to find a good teacher or a centre, a retreat centre, and maybe read some Buddhist texts and just allow the mind to incline and seek guidance from those who are experienced.
Yeah, there's some that aren't really questions here.
I think we have to
it's
leave.
not really a question. It's not really a question.
Okay, we have one here from Melissa. Thank you, Melissa, who asks, did the Buddha ever say anything about raising children and parenting?
Raising children. Yeah, Singalovada Sutra explained about how treat the parents, how treat parents to the children. Singalovada Sutra explained about parents, how treat the children like Papa Nivarentis. I can't remember all the Pali words. Parents always try to prevent their children doing the bad thing. Always push children to doing good thing. And also parents want to give good education to their children. And also parents want to give them married and when they proper age. Also parents won't give all their properties or to their children, something like that. Singalova Sutra explain about how parents treat their children.
So that's a really good sutta to look at.
Yeah, Singalovada Sutra.
Singalovada Sutta.
Yeah.
And it's quite a long sutta, isn't it?
Yeah.
With so much advice. The Buddha gave so much advice to us all, not just the monastics, but also for lay life.
Yeah.
Many teachings, many very practical, down-to-earth teachings, how to
parents
live.
to children, children to parents, and monastic lay life to monastic, what is each other responsibility.
Yes.
Teachers to students, students to teachers, workers to employees, employee to workers, something like that. Singalova Sutra is very good example how we have to be our responsibility.
Okay. And I think that might be it. Hey.
Alright.
Unless we have any questions in the room.
Yeah, so-
Wonderful. Actually, it's really suitable for us to finish at this time because, as Suwijana said, that we have a very big day tomorrow. And I really hope, if any of you live nearby, that you may have the opportunity to join us. Otherwise, please think of us. We have actually Samaneri Satimet right here in the room. And also Samaneri Wada here in the monastery, both going forth tomorrow afternoon, early afternoon. So, Venerable, shall we finish as we normally do
Yes,
with
yes.
3 sadhus, paying respect to our teacher, the Buddha, and great gratitude for you joining us this evening. Really very wonderful. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.